We got somebody in office turning our allies against us, folks losing jobs left and right. You should always feel like you belong in every room you go in.
There's only one God, darling. There's only one God.
Welcome to the Dirty Bag Podcast. I'm your host, Cookie, and as always, thank you for tapping in with me. You could be anywhere listening to anybody, but you are here with this 3-time award-winning platform, 6-time nominated, and I'm going to keep saying it. Want to know why? Because you should big yourself up before you expect anybody else to. You should always celebrate yourself. You should never wait for validation from the world. You should never wait for somebody to fill a void that you should be filling yourself. So yes, y'all gonna always see me give myself my flowers. Reason being, because people, and I've talked about this last season, that people sometimes get off on women's humility, black women's humility. Honey, when I was at my lowest, I had to dig myself out of that hole. You wasn't there when I was super humble. You wasn't there when I was trying to figure out what my next move was, me being heartbroken, me just feeling sad because I miss having a grandmother and I want my mother to help me mother, like things like that. The dark places I had to pull myself out of. So yeah, I'm gonna pop. I say all that to say I'm gonna pop my shit. I'm gonna pop my shit, and I hope you do as well. We literally have an administration. We have the leader of the free world, got a cabinet, got a squad of homies out here accidentally texting war plans. If that does not encourage you to start loving on yourself, to start celebrating yourself, to know that you are worthy, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what is, because he don't belong in that room and he there. I'm just saying that he should encourage us. Thank you, Donald Trump, for letting us know we all need to go after more, even if we're not qualified. Because who's to say I'm not qualified for the job? Who said that? You used to have an addiction? Okay. You got a criminal record? Okay. You didn't pay your taxes? Okay. It's called fresh start, right? Because he clearly gets one every day, him and his homies. So I say that. Oh, and let's just, the fact that they're trying to take us back to to antebellum, back to the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, 20s. We're talking about segregation again? We're talking about putting in laws that that people allows business owners, if they want to put a whites only sign, they can. So I've talked about this before. Let's run it back to Cookie's childhood. And those of you that don't know and you're new here, I was a part of what's called the desegregation program in St. Louis. So what that means is the little hood, inner city, poor Negroes get bussed out to the affluent schools in the suburbs. So I went to school with predominantly white children that had a nice amount of wealth. They did well for themselves. They drove cars better than the teachers. If they crashed one, they got a brand new one. Not a buy here, pay here, not a cash, not a clunker, like brand new 0 miles on it. Those are the type of kids I went to school with, but then I was bussed back home every day to these impoverished neighborhoods where folks is barely trying to survive and the crime rate is through the roof. So I will say what being in the DSEG, they called us DSEG kids, what that taught me is we got to do better in our communities, because a lot of the schools in St. Louis and the city were unaccredited. And the one that we started out at, I mean, my brother was getting into it with people. It wasn't a safe place for us. And while our family did the best they could for us, it pulled us away from our culture also. Because when you go to school and you're in predominantly white classrooms, what do you want to emulate? You want to emulate what you perceive to be the standard, what you perceive to be success. You go home with these kids, and if you're an athlete, again, we got bussed out to these schools. So that means we were over an hour away from home. So as an athlete, when you had events after school, when you had track meets or basketball games, you had to stay in the suburbs until it was game time. So what did that mean? That meant going home with your white friends. And when you went home with your white friends, you realized how poor you were. When I went to my friend's house, realized there was a whole pool in the backyard, that her dad was an ex-soccer player, professional soccer player, and her mom was a real estate agent, and they made a whole gym in the basement when I could only dream of my family affording gymnastics. But here this girl was with a whole setup in the basement. Aside from her classes, it didn't make me feel away, but it was just like, damn, we down bad. We down bad. But being in the DSEG programs, they love black athletes. So I think for some children, being in that program, they probably felt out of place. Because let's be clear, all of those teachers didn't want us out there. All of those teachers did not want to deal with us, but there was some that saw our potential, or it wasn't potential, they just loved us for who we were. But me being a track athlete, a cheerleader, and a dancer, it gave me a lot of favor. So I wasn't just that black kid from the inner city, I was that black talented kid that made your teams look good. But this is the day in the life of a black child that's a part of the desegregation program. You're catching a bus, keep in mind. So you're getting bussed out over an hour away from home. You had to get up 2 hours before regular kids. And that's depending on where you live. So if you were the first one to be picked up, you had to get up at 5 a.m. to get yourself showered, ready to walk to school. Kids today, y'all different. We had to walk to the bus stop, and sometimes that bus stop was almost a half a mile away from home. You did some walking to stand in the freezing cold, to stand in the heat for this bus, to drive an hour to school. It was, looking back at it, that was madness. I couldn't imagine. And then again, we're on the buses unsupervised. So there's that part. You're on a bus for an hour, and I mean, sometimes things happen. But I say all that to say, being a part of the desegregation program, I learned what integration was like. And this is my entire childhood. This is second grade to my senior year of high school. So once I went to college in Joplin, Missouri, again, Podunk, southern Missouri, still got sundown towns nearby. Dealing with white folks is easy for me. So that's why I say the slogan, I'm a hood chick with boardroom manners, because I really am. Because when you in the hood all the time, but you own these white cheerleading squads with no seasoning and they trying to tone down your rhythm, you learn how to navigate both worlds. So yeah, it appears they're trying to take us back, but what y'all gonna do if we bring back segregation? Do we get our seasoning back as well? So what does that mean about the music that's gonna be played? Because the last time we were segregated, y'all had y'all shit and we had ours. I don't think that's gonna work. And the amount of Caucasian women that want a light-skinned, curly-haired baby, I don't know. Are y'all gonna make interracial relationships illegal again too? Let me know. Because I ain't gonna tell y'all I ain't thought about dipping in something different. So what are we doing? But yeah, I think that with everything going on, you should honestly and truly believe in yourself. I say all that to say the world is changing, this country is changing as we know it, but we're gonna need community. So I'm gonna talk to y'all about that today. With everything going on, I think the most important thing we can have right now is our relationships. Because you're gonna need resources, right? With things changing, people losing jobs, tariffs, things are going up. We have a president that didn't even know what the fuck a tariff was, and that it's not the countries that get penalized as much as it is us. We foot the bill on that. He didn't know. So again, that's going back to y'all needing to believe in yourselves. But community is gonna be important. I think this is gonna be one of those times where a lot of us really got to deal with our issues. Now, bear in mind, we done talking about dating for a while, right? I said y'all need to shelf these red pill, blue pill talks. It doesn't matter with everything we got going on. But I think the most important thing you can have right now are solid friendships. Again, we're in the world of influencers and content creators, right? So everybody and their mama wants to be around certain people. You want to be around an aesthetic. No, you need somebody with character. You need people that really care about your heart. You need people that want to be around you and want to pour into you when they had nothing to gain, and it's mutual. And we also need to start dealing with our trauma with friendships. We talk so much about getting our heart broke with dating. We never talk about the way it happens with our friendships. Now, y'all know I didn't brag. I've said I'm the cutoff queen. That is not a brag. I absolutely need to fix that, but also I have to look at the fact, why do you move that way? I saw a post the other day saying that those individuals that have lost parents, we move a little different and we really don't have a problem letting people go. I thought that was kind of I'm not gonna say it was a weird statement to make, it was very interesting, but I will say for myself, like I've said before, I had most of my major losses as a child. Y'all know that my mother and grandma were less than a year apart when I was 14 and 15, my grandfather, my senior year of college. We're talking the day I pulled up, cap and gown, to the stadium. For my graduation, his organs shut down because he had been battling colon cancer. And the one thing he wanted was for my ass to graduate college. It's bad enough I left. I made it out of high school, got out of St. Louis, and ended up pregnant. by somebody that he never liked anyways. And then we broke up. I became a single mom. So I had to do something to make this man proud. If I wasn't going to do nothing, I was going to get across that damn stage. I was going to get across the stage. But I will say, suffering that type of loss, you kind of have to parent yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, you lean on your friends, you lean on chosen families, which are very important. So in this era, if you have to lean on both friends and chosen families, do that. But I say that to say, how do I put this? Yeah, when you parent yourself, and that's the most important relationship we can have in our lives, are the people that raise us, you navigate relationships a lot different. Because it's like, if you have not helped raise me, pour into me, just mold me into the person that I am, what use do I have for you? If you own that bullshit. If you own that bullshit, I can let you go. And for me, it's not so much that I just cut people off easily. It's just that I know that by the time I do, I've poured into you enough. I've supported you enough. I've spoke life into you. I've used whatever resource I have to extend your way for you to shine. So when you cross somebody like me, yeah, I can let you go. Because I've done my part. And I'll sleep well at night. People that don't sleep well at night are the folks that know they crossed good people, and instead of simply swallowing your pride and saying, you know what, maybe my trauma from past friendships made me look at this situation in a way that was not factual. They pretend like you got beef, but can't keep their eyes off of you and everything you do. Crazy. But yeah, so those of us that lose, very important figures in our life at an early age, we do. And it's self-preservation. We don't want to get hurt by people, so it's so much easier to cut you off than to get got. Because now if I get got, I got to get the getting. I'm saying, if I get got, I got to get the licking. I got to get my lick back. I got to get my lick back. And lick backs can come in all forms. It ain't got to be non-dramatic. It can be a slow burn. It can be so many things. But even this year, again, coming off 45 days of sobriety, I got clarity on the fact, not that I didn't know this before, but your smoke means something to people. Sometimes you need to pay folks dust. Pay people dust. Don't give them some people want. Who don't want somebody to crash out over them? Who don't want somebody to act a fool behind them? You know what that does to somebody's ego? To know that you've impacted them in such a way, like you've been impacted in such a way that you don't know how to act, you just discombobulated, you cutting up, you firing shots all the time. Leave in peace. Leave people where they had you effed up at. Leave people in their weird shit and let them deal with it. I was talking about the fact that I'm seeing a lot of folks lately are doing a lot of monitoring spirit content. That's been taken off. I don't know who, I've done videos in the past about it, maybe one or two, but it's really getting to be a thing with content creators right now, teaching people what to look for with monitoring spirits. Why monitoring spirits won't leave you alone, why they've turned that way, why they ghost follow. And again, monitoring spirits, we're talking about people that know you and the dynamics of your relationship have changed. And I'm gonna just keep it simple. Bump a monitoring spirit. You are smart enough. You know what's going on with people. I think some of us want somebody to come out and say, I can't stand you. I hate you, I'm jealous of you, I want what you have, or I'm upset by this. I think that we want people to come out and say that as confirmation, kind of like a woman that's waiting for a man to tell her he cheated, even though all the signs are there. You have the proof you need. You got the proof you need. It's the same thing with monitoring spirits. You know what type of time them folks on, they done told you everything. Y'all, be okay with deleting people. Unfollow, block. My favorite cookieism is block one clown a day to keep the rest of the circus in line. You feel me? Let people go. It is your phone. You pay your phone bill. Nobody pays that bill with you. It is your page. It's your house. Do you let folks come hang out in your living room that don't like you while you in the kitchen? Do you let folks hang out in your kitchen and just watch you in the living room with your family? What the hell? No, y'all be scared of backlash. Y'all want followers so bad that you are afraid to clean house. Here's my deal. Once I realize somebody doesn't have my best interest at heart, maybe you have ill will towards me, it is now my responsibility to protect what I have. I can't trust you. I can't trust how you gonna move. I don't know what you up to. So it's not saying that you and I are beefing. It means that in this season, in this space, you're not rocking with me for whatever reason. That's something that you need to sort out within yourself. That's not for me to carry. It's not for me to pull out of you. But what I'm gonna do is protect my peace by removing you. Boundaries, people. Boundaries. Everybody don't need access to you. And I know folks are good for saying, I don't delete people. I don't block people. You need to watch this glow up. What? So what are you, okay, so let's just say you're glowing up, right? They watching you glow up. Are you waiting on them to clap? What is it that you want them to do? That's weird. I don't need anybody that doesn't like me, doesn't care for me to watch me. I would rather keep you the hell away. That's why half of y'all be going back to these damn toxic relationships all the damn time because you want somebody to watch you and validate you. Cut motherfuckers off and go on about your life. Spring cleaning for a reason. Delete, please. You can see me. If you got my phone number and it's that big a deal, you can call me. I can see you in public. You ain't gotta be here. So yeah, be great because our president is trash. We definitely need our relationships right now, so it's important to do the inner work to figure out what it is that prevents us from having the healthiest relationships we possibly can with one another. Again, your reasons could be valid, but you got to fix it. But there's a difference between fixing what can be mended and keeping a rat away from you, keeping that snake over there. Keep your grass low. Okay? We good now? Oh, and if segregation comes back, baby, we're going to have them kickbacks I missed, we're going to have them. Imagine if you are forced to support a Black-owned business. Imagine if you are forced to be around your people. I mean, but I like us all together. So that's just me. But thank you guys so much for tapping in with me today for another episode of the Dirty Bag Podcast. Make sure you are locked in on YouTube. Subscribe if you are not following the channel on YouTube. If you're not following Dirty Bag on TikTok. If you're not following the Dirty Bag Podcast on Instagram. And whatever we got going on, because folks are still catching things. Wear your mask, wash your hands, socially distance, and when you get a free moment, please remember to clean out your dirty bag. Till next time.
Darling, there's only one God. Well, darling.